Time for some more insight and advice on life issues with Ben Angel. G'day, Ben.
Hi, Adam.
Now, we spend an awful lot of time these days using social media.
Yes.
Is it a problem?
Look, there's a point where it can become a problem. And I think when it starts disrupting our relationships, also our work environment, if we're out to dinner and we're constantly on the mobile phone checking Facebook or posting up pictures of our food, then it can get to the point where it becomes disruptive. Now, that's when we really need to step up and go, is it really interrupting our life? And what can we do about it?
So we're talking specifically about Facebook addiction.
Yes.
What is it? And explain it to me.
Yeah, so when it comes to addiction, first of all, we need to understand that it's when it's something is disrupting our lives to a great extent. So this could be business, career, or even our health, for example. We start dropping the ball in other areas. Now, when it comes to social media addiction, there's been studies that have been done overseas that have actually found that it's more addictive or just as addictive as drugs, alcohol, and even cigarettes.
Wow. What are the signs that you have a problem? What do you need to actually look out for?
Yeah, I think it's about looking at when you're in a social setting, are you constantly on your phone all of the time? Is it disrupting your relationships? When you're going to bed at night, are you checking your phone or are you actually having a discussion with your partner? First thing in the morning, are we checking our mobile phone, updating Facebook? Hey, I'm still in bed, or I'm at this restaurant, here's what I'm eating right now. That gets to a point, particularly in social scenarios, where the etiquette is almost forgotten and it's become acceptable to constantly be on it. Now, when it starts disrupting your relationships, that's when you really have to understand that, hey, we're actually withdrawing from society, not engaging with it.
And is it more prevalent within certain age groups or across the board?
It can be across the board. And Facebook, for example, is popular, and the greatest uptake of Facebook at the moment is the 35 plus age group. So it can be anyone at any age, but when we look at Facebook, the reason that we engage with it so much is because it allows a platform to assert our status. Now, it's called a status update. Now, when we look at primal behavior, for us to get to where we want to go in relationships, career and health, we must assert a status so we can make money and we can also look after our family. So you'll see individuals posting on Facebook, hey, here's my car. Here's the food, here's where I'm eating, here's who I'm hanging out with. It's all about self-identity and really us asserting our status in society. Now, some of us are taking that a little bit too far. So it's important to understand why we do it in the first place.
Okay, so if you have a problem, you recognise that you have an issue with Facebook addiction, what can you actually do about it?
Yeah, first of all, there's actually a website that you can go to which is called rescuetime.com. And what this site does is it tracks all of your interactions on your computer. So if you open up Word, if you open up Outlook, it will acknowledge it. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, it will actually give you an indication of how much time you're spending on each site per day. Now, that gives us a great indication to go, okay, wait a sec, I'm actually on this thing for 3 or 4 hours a day, which would surprise a lot of people, but I think once we actually get to that stage and look at the data, that's when people can start to really acknowledge that, hey, I'm wasting way too much time on this.
And is it then a matter of weaning yourself off social media to some degree?
And it's taking little steps. A girl in California called Stephanie, who's 20 years old, actually came up with a very simple concept called phone stack. So if you're at a restaurant with friends, literally stack your phones one on top of the other, and the first one to actually break during the meal, they've got to pay for dinner. Now, you'll be surprised at how well that actually works, but you'll also be quite surprised at how much anxiety you feel when you're sitting there looking at your phone and you go, I actually just want to check it quickly. And that's when we start to see that, the problem arises. But, you might get a free meal.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to give Phone Stack a try.
Beautiful.
We'll speak to you again next week.
Cool. Thanks, Adam.